Trinidad versus Joppy, May 12th, live on Direct Ticket. Don't miss this historic match live on Direct Ticket Pay-Per-View Channel 101.
Trinidad versus Joppy, Saturday, May 12th. Boxing history in the making. Who will have the chance to become the undisputed middleweight champion for the first time since Marvin Hagler held all the belts in 1987? Will it be the four-time world champion Felix Tito Trinidad, hailed by many as the greatest fighter ever to come out of Puerto Rico, and called by most boxing experts the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world today? Or will it be William Joppy, two-time world champion, who has 32 wins and 24 big knockouts and reigned over his division for more than 5 years? Many observers are saying Joppy poses the biggest threat yet to Trinidad's march to middleweight greatness. Can he stand between Trinidad and his pursuit of history? Or will Trinidad do to him what he has already done to Oscar De La Hoya, David Reed, and Fernando Vargas? Now, in the name of legends before them, one man must step forward to take his place in boxing history. Down through the annals of boxing history, few indeed are the welterweight champions who have stepped up to win the middleweight title as well. You can almost count them on one hand, and their names are among boxing greats. Names like Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Tommy Hearns, men who have marched through 3 different weight classes and become legends in time. Can Tito Trinidad join those all-time greats on that same small island of greatness, overcoming the 13-pound pull-in weight, and those with more experience at the 160-pound level? Don't be fooled by the boyish face, the charming smile, or the cute nickname. Felix Tito Trinidad was raised to be a fighter. Nurtured by the commanding touch of a strict father, he has methodically worked his way through the ranks of boxing, through every challenge thrown his way. Today, this trim 28-year-old Puerto Rican phenom stands at the top of the boxing world.
I have already been world champion in 2 categories, as a welterweight and super welterweight. Now I'm moving to another category, the middleweight. It'll be my 3rd world championship, and I hope to be crowned champion on May 12th, and then to go on and unify the title. I plan to come away with a 160-pound title and prove that I am the best.
Proving that has formed Trinidad's mission since he first became a champion at the age of 20. With mega fight after mega fight, he has put his titles on the line with uncommon regularity. Against some of boxing's biggest names, he has routinely displayed not only talent, but courage and heart.
For the last 2 years, I have fought against the best. I've never turned down a fight. In my career, I fought against 7 #1 contenders, 3 Olympic gold medalists. In 1999, I beat Pernell Whitaker. And then I went on to defeat Oscar De La Hoya. Both De La Hoya and Whitaker won gold medals in the Olympics. In 2000, I beat David Reed, another Olympic gold medalist.
Three gold medals!
And these are fighters that I need to confront. I've undeniably beaten them, and I have had spectacular victories against all of them.
But it was Trinidad's last performance that may have been his best. On came the cocky and defiant Fernando Vargas, heralded as one of the most talented young fighters in the game. Vargas brought verbal machismo, backed by an Olympic pedigree, and an unbeaten professional record. Trinidad handled the up-and-comer with veteran savvy and then some.
I wanted to win, and I also wanted to hurt him, because during those last few days, he had become a little bit of a show-off, and I don't like that. I was set to win and knock him out.
Big left hook by Trinidad, and Vargas is stunned. Vargas is stunned and down.
I had no doubt that I would win the fight. I dominated the fight, although Vargas got to me in the 4th round. But it's happened to me before. Thank God I was able to get back up and continue fighting. But I should also mention that I knocked Vargas down, I think, 5 times during the fight. I've sometimes shied away from saying it, But I need to say, it was a great fight. The world knows that I've had spectacular victories against the best boxers in the world. And I remain undefeated with 39 wins, 0 losses.
After that resounding victory, fans in his native Puerto Rico lavished their champion with a hero's welcome.
I was very well received in Puerto Rico. Everyone went to greet me on Sunday when I returned. And people from my neighborhood, people from Puerto Rico, went to the airport to greet me, the champ. They consider me a national hero. They were as excited about this victory as any of my previous victories.
This is the man right here. That's the champion. That's the champion. The new champion.
The fans truly went nuts.
Felix has the qualities of an idol, a celebrity, but also, and most important, the qualities of a hero that is an example to the young and to all his people. We have great champions that have been champions in one category. The first, #1, pound per pound, in the whole sport is Felix Trinidad. That's great.
Amazingly, winning 4 titles has not gone to Trinidad's head. Success has only compelled him to reach higher. With the middleweight championship of the world as his next immediate goal, Trinidad hones his craft with the determination of one just starting out.
I am training extremely hard. My routine, I exercise in the morning. I run. Then I do some physical conditioning exercises with my father and my physical trainer, Morales. Then I do weight training. In the afternoon, I go to the boxing gym to complete my daily routine. In this way, I work to refine my boxing. I've worked hard and it's been worth it. With my dad's help and with the help of my group.
Under the vigilant eye of Felix Trinidad Sr., the fighter has been a lifelong work in progress. Father and son, trainer, manager, and champion. In a sport that has seen many such partnerships die hard, this working relationship is a rare combination.
Another important aspect is that I want to share this, what I'm going to conquer, to my father, who has been a person very important in my whole career.
The relationship between my father and I, as both father and son, and trainer and boxer, is a very good one. From the time I debuted as an amateur to the time I debuted as a professional boxer, it's been a very strong relationship, and it still is. And as a father and son, we're very close, and what happens to him happens to me. And together we're fighting to keep moving ahead.
According to many, Trinidad will have his hands full with the current middleweight champion, William Joppy, a career 160-pounder who has held his belt for over 5 years. Trinidad scoffs at the skeptics and remains unbowed by his foes' boastful warnings.
Trinidad cannot deal with me. Him beating Fargus and David Reed, they still babies. He's dealing with a veteran now. Welcome to the middleweights, Trinidad. And I'm going to show him things he's never seen before.
Well, he should go ahead and try to back me up, and then do whatever he's been saying he's going to do. Once we're in the ring, I will show him. He might want to do what he said, but whether I let him do it or not is another matter. And let's see if on May 12th he could do a fraction, yes, a fraction of what he said he's going to do.
Brimming with confidence behind that charismatic smile of his, Trinidad envisions a happy ending against Joppy and beyond. As he enters his first step of the unification tournament, Trinidad has issued his own warning.
My goal is to win the 160-pound middleweight crown on May 12th against William Joppy, and then to go on to unify the title by beating Bernard Hopkins. I know that I'm fighting against boxers who are perhaps more powerful, who may hit harder. But I'd like to tell them all of them, Joppy and then Hopkins, to watch out for me because I really want to win. I really want to knock them out. And I'm certain that when they feel my punch, they will know who Tito Trinidad is. They're going to find out where my middleweight punch is. I guarantee it.
Many already consider Trinidad to be the finest pound-for-pound talent in the world today. But is he the greatest Puerto Rican champion of all time? One of the greatest prize fighters the sport has ever known? While others debate his place in history, Trinidad concentrates on delivering the most forceful argument any fighter can compose. Victory. That's all he's ever done.
They fight for the middleweight crown to be part of history. Felix Trinidad to join the legends. William Joppy to stop him. Trinidad's undefeated but untested as a middleweight. Joppy's defending his crown for the 8th time. Only one gets a shot at the undisputed middleweight world championship and a place in boxing history. Trinidad versus Joppy, Saturday, May 12th, live on pay-per-view. Contact your pay-per-view provider to order. Only one can make history.
William Joppy overcame a near-fatal auto accident, one which fractured his neck to win 6 fights. Can he now overcome the power of Felix Trinidad? Joppy has fought in 10 championship fights, winning 9. His only loss, a controversial one, to Julio Cesar Green. He scored 6 knockouts in those 10 title bouts. Joppy now has his work cut out for him in the person of Felix Trinidad. What will he bring to the middleweight championship party that makes so many believe he has a good chance to take all the belts? This is his daily grind, far from the hype. Without fanfare or recognition, William Joppy is a working man's fighter. He knows victory and he has tasted defeat. Joppy has even sparred with death. A champion, yet an unknown soldier. All William Joppy wants is a chance to earn his greatness.
If I stopped boxing, I wouldn't get no recognition. I would go out and people would bring my name up. Oh, he was a champ. But it would be a question, was he any good?
Joppy grew up on the streets of the nation's capital, idolizing the sublime fighting talents of Muhammad Ali, and especially another Beltway area boxer named Sugar Ray Leonard.
Ray Leonard had it all. He had the whole package. He could slug with you, he could box, he could fight going forward, he could fight going back, side to side. He had speed, power, and everything. You name it, he was an all-around fighter.
Unlike his role model, Joppy's ring career was not forged in Olympic gold. He did not start boxing until the age of 20. But within 5 years, he worked his way to an unbeaten record in 22 professional fights. Then he chased a middleweight title across the globe.
I traveled to Tokyo, Japan to fight Shinji Takahara, another great fighter that people don't know because he never fought in the States, to get my world title. He was a brawler, strong. I boxed him, confused him, took him out of his game plan, and I knocked him out in the 9th round. He was so confused, he was trying to do what I was doing to him, and it wasn't his game.
In his first year as champion, Joppy defended his title twice. But in the summer of '97, he encountered a hostile crowd at Madison Square Garden and hometown hero Julio Cesar Green.
William Joppy Jr.
Joppy decked Green twice. But he broke a knuckle on his right hand and could barely use that weapon again. Green swiped Joppy's belt in a hotly debated decision.
Tell you one thing, folks, that's an incredible decision. The judges didn't see this fight right. Julio Cesar Green did not win that fight, except on the scorecard.
Steeled by the defeat, the former champion returned to face his conqueror. This time around, it was a one-sided affair as Joppy avenged his one and only loss.
Follows it up with a nice left hand, right hand. He's trying to
the two-time WWE middleweight champion, William Joppy Jr.
Though Joppy was now at 27 years old a proven champion, what continued to elude him was public acclaim. Seeking to boost his record with a big name, Joppy's handlers accepted a challenge from one of the biggest names of all.
Roberto Manos de Piedra Duran.
Joppy took care of business against a veteran Roberto Duran, but his third-round knockout of the aging legend did not win over the fans.
People say, you should have knocked him out. He's 48 years old. And if I had to win 12 rounds, if I had to win 6 rounds with Roberto Duran, they still wouldn't have gave me credit. You went 6 rounds with that old man? You went 12 rounds with that old man? So, I was a no-win situation.
That sent Joppy back to work in the gym, back to his blue-collar roots. Then on a wintry afternoon of January 18th, 1999, fate dealt the hardest blow of Joppy's life.
I had just completed a training session. I was leaving out the gym and turned onto a major intersection, Ritchie Road in Maryland, and a car just came in speeding and hit the tail end of my van, spun me around 5 times. My head snapped back and hit the steering wheel, and I broke the C7 vertebrae in my neck.
Joppy was rushed to intensive care. He showed signs of a severe spinal cord injury, and he was listed in critical condition.
I think that was God talking to me, telling me to slow down. When I went to the doctors and they told me that my neck was broken, I had to stay away from boxing until it healed. I couldn't run, couldn't exercise, had to stay in the house. Man, I was like in hell. I think, you know, the condition that I'm in, you know, helped me get through that altercation.
It took 2 months before he could train once again.
And I feel that I'm stronger than I was before I left. That was my goal, to come back and be better than what I was before the accident.
Joppy did come back, as tough as ever.
Okay, let it go. Joppy comes in, bangs him with the right hand, left hook. He's ready to go, and that's it. He stops the fight. It's all over. Rubalcaba cannot stand up. He's totally out on his feet. It's a first-round knockout.
If there were any doubts, he erased them in winning a 12-round war against former middleweight champ Hasim Sharifi.
It was a massacre. But like I say, I still give him credit because he came to fight, and he went out like a soldier.
This is a good round for Joppy. All right, and down he goes, running the bench.
Joppy has soldiered on as a winner, still 2-time champion, still practically unknown. But that can change on May 12th, when the unheralded Joppy squares off against Felix Trinidad, a world-renowned champion in his prime. Only one will take the next step toward unifying the middleweight title.
I feel like, you know, somebody telling me that I'm not the best middleweight, like somebody trying to take my manhood from me. When somebody tell me I can't fight, you know what I'm saying, I'm ready to prove it right then and there. All my life I've been like that. And that's how I feel now. They put the best. They got Keith Holmes and Bernard, man Trinidad. We're gonna see when the smoke clears, I'm gonna be the last man standing.
A shocking upset of Trinidad would mark this underdog champion for his long-awaited dream of a place in boxing history.
This is my great fight. This is gonna get me over that hump. This is gonna put me on that pound-for-pound list. This is my dream come true. You know, I know that Trinidad's a house fighter, but I'm gonna shock the world.
They fight for the middleweight crown to be part of history. Felix Trinidad to join the legends. William Joppy to stop him. Trinidad's undefeated but untested as a middleweight. Joppy's defending his crown for the 8th time. Only one gets a shot at the undisputed middleweight world championship and a place in boxing history. Trinidad versus Joppy, Saturday, May 12th, live on pay-per-view. Contact your pay-per-view provider to order. Only one can make history.
With one of the final participants, Bernard Hopkins, already in place, we can now look forward to what many are considering the fight of the year. Felix Tito Trinidad versus William Joppy for the right to face Hopkins for the unified middleweight title. This is the one every fight fan is looking forward to. Raw power versus a puncher mover, a fight which would once again reaffirm that the middleweight division is boxing's greatest division.
If you want to see a throwback kind of fight where you see a guy like a LaMotta in the ring giving it all, or you see a Sugar Ray Robinson in the ring being spectacular. This is the kind of fight that's going to be a throwback kind of fight, because you know that Felix Trinidad has all that pride, and you know that William Joppy has all that pride, all that desire, and all that's going to come together in the middle of the ring on that night. It's going to be a great fight.
I've learned a long time ago not to pick against Felix Trinidad, and I think that his skills and his talent and his ability to bounce back from adversity have been proven and tested, and I like him to win.
I mean, the best 54-pounder I've ever seen is either probably Hearns or Trinidad. He's awesome. I don't think Joppy's going to beat Trinidad, but I think he's a live underdog.
I'm picking an upset. I like William Joppy. I've talked to a lot of people. They like Joppy's chances. It's not so much a case of Joppy being a better fighter than Trinidad, because clearly Trinidad at this point is probably the best fighter in the world. But Joppy's the pure middleweight, and Joppy has the style and the speed to give Trinidad a lot of trouble.
That's the greatest thing about these kind of fights. I mean, you don't know who's going to win. And going into it, it's really a pick 'em. Trinidad has been down, but he gets up all the time. William Joppy, what happens to him when he goes down, if he goes down? Does he fall apart? We know that Trinidad can pull it back together. Can Joppy?
Felix Trinidad is a magnificent offensive fighter, two-handed puncher. He's become smarter and smarter, more resourceful. He's going to need that against William Joppy, because Joppy is the strongest guy he's ever fought. He's strong mentally, he's strong physically, and that's what makes it such a close fight in the view of most of boxing experts.
I like Trinidad because he has a proven track record against top competition. And Joppy, even though he has been a 160-pounder for his whole career and has been a champion, you know, he has not fought the same type of guys that Felix Trinidad has fought. And Trinidad has been in big fights many times and has always come out on the top. So it's hard to pick against him in this particular fight.
If Joppy beats Trinidad here, it'll be very interesting, because Trinidad is, many people feel, the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, either him or Shane Mosley. Well, if Joppy beats him, his stock goes way up, and I think a lot of people have sort of written him off as just a belt holder, as some people like to say. He'll become a real middleweight champion, and then if he goes on to win the whole tournament, you know, then you have to look at him in a whole different light.
Joppy, to win, has to fight virtually the perfect fight. But Joppy has to move, box, and frustrate Trinidad. The blueprint for how to fight Trinidad is there. Oscar De La Hoya showed it. Joppy has to fight the way De La Hoya did. In and out, frustrate Trinidad, make Trinidad reset his feet, because Trinidad has to be set to punch. And Joppy is quick enough and fast enough to do that.
My prediction is it's going to be a dynamite fight. If I had to go out on the line, I'll say Trinidad by unanimous decision.
I think we are probably looking at a boxer that is the greatest talent of this era in Felix Trinidad. I think Joppy's going to go mano a mano, because he does want to make a statement. He wants people to think of him as one of the best.
It's a Fighter of the Year 2000, Felix Tito Trinidad. Can he continue his brilliant career by winning the middleweight title and cement his legend? Or can William Joppy, the complete boxer-puncher, stop Trinidad's march to greatness, as many believe? Don't miss Trinidad Joppy live on pay-per-view Saturday, May 12th, for boxing history in the making.
My goal is to win the 160-pound middleweight crown on May 12th against William Joppy, and then to go on to unify the title by beating Bernard Hopkins. They're going to find out where my middleweight punch is. I guarantee it.
Man, Trinidad, you're going to see when the smoke clears, I'm going to be the last man standing.